This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview.
Mike Whitlow, the MD of ECR Minerals, is joining us today. Mike, good to be speaking to you. How are you doing?
Very well, sir. How are you?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Mike. Of course, there's been some recent news from the company here, from your Lolworth project. Lots of samples were collected. 165 samples, I believe, were collected there in the eastern area of the project, and a lot of them, well, nine of them returning pretty good gold values there. So just talk us through some of these results here and what it means, that sort of over 9 parts per million, but some of those standout results as well.
Well, we can talk about results and samples all day long. The reality for me is investors often don't understand results. They choose to live in complete ignorance at times. There are some really smart guys out there, but there's a lot that really aren't, which is a shame. It's a sign of the times and a sign of the market. There's a lot of frustration out there. We understand that. We've been through difficult markets, so we just keep pressing on doing the job. We got some great results, as you say. 9 of those results came in at 9 ppm or better. When reporting stream samples, you would expect to report in parts per million versus grams a ton, but they are by and large the same. So we've reported 9 samples over 9 grams a ton, with the best being 1,245 parts per million, which is exceptional. And there's some, consistency there, because you may remember that we also had a previous sample in streams for work that we did not too far from here, which came in exceptionally high too. But I think what's more important is the figure of 9. A really decent guy that I know contacted me and said, when we were in the military, we used to put our headlines in our debriefing so people fully understood the key message. And the key, I think, there was an assumption that we should have pushed the 1.2 kilo equivalent result over the 9. For us, what's important is Dagwood, Gorge Creek West, Fat Hen Creek, these areas, Uncle Terry's, these areas are in good close proximity of one another, and the broader view is looking better and better. As we're vectoring in, Adam and the team, and particularly with the input now of Mike Parker, have been working diligently on understanding our future drill program. So we're really excited about these results. We're excited about the scale of Lolworth. Lots of people perhaps don't look and forget that Lolworth's 1,000 square kilometres almost. It's a big opportunity, and there's a lot of scale there for us to continue to explore. But we intend to progress with our maiden drilling campaign in the not too distant future, and we're looking forward to it.
Okay, good. And of course, a lot of these results were in new areas, weren't they, as the RNS was mentioning there? So, I mean, you've talked about scale there. Does this sort of back up that perhaps the project may host significant gold beyond sort of the previously mapped areas that you already have?
Yeah, I think what we're finding is there are new areas within the boundaries of areas of interest to us that are starting to show themselves with more gold, which is conducive with what we've been seeing within certain parts of our Lolworth license, which means it's growing, it's expanding, and we're looking, at different sources of the gold. And yeah, I mean, the project's developing really as well as we could possibly expect. This was a project that 2 years ago, 3 years ago was introduced to the company. We've started to do some work there. Company's gone through quite a significant change. That's been a huge budget. So with the funds that we've had, there's no luxury living here. These guys are out in the field in caravans, tents, and it's a pretty tough job. It's a tough environment at times, but we're getting results which are exceptional in an exceptional gold environment. The gold price has increased since we joined the company. The company's balance sheet has been fortified and strengthened since we joined the company. The assets are proven to be a bit better than people may have hoped for, and we're looking to take a project into production in the relatively near term. And we see the share price at a lower level, which is insane, isn't it? When you think about how this gold price is ripping higher, but yeah, small cap equities are not seeing the value of that just yet.
No, I know gold doing extremely well. I look at it every day, and I can't believe how gold is performing, really. But that's obviously a very good thing for gold miners, you would think. But as you say, yeah, a lot of the juniors are not really reflecting in their market caps, really. So I mean, the question I suppose is, what can you do to help that value be reflected? Is it production now? I know you wanted to get into sort of early stage production at Blue Mountain. Is it about following these alluvial pan samples here and drilling to sort of confirm that the subsurface continuity? What is it that you think you can do? Or even is it, is cash king, the tax losses, You've got a few things to, you can offer here, I suppose.
Well, at first, all of these samples that people, often refer to, I see on bulletin boards, people sort of saying on social media, all they do is sample and nothing else. When will they sell the asset, or when will they joint venture, or when will they get to production? I mean, it's a scientific process. It's like learning to tie your shoelaces. You make two big bunny ears and you tie them together. Primitive ways of learning how to get from being a small boy, tying his shoelaces to, running on a football pitch and never having them come undone again. There's a process and there's a time, and it's just the unfortunate reality of the business. But, we're in a great position because the early stage work is leading us now to drilling, and we've vectored in on a number of and ranked a number of target areas that we believe present a great opportunity. This is budgeted. It's not going to be super expensive. This is, a drill rig that's mounted on a 4x4, so access isn't a great issue, and there's definitely no issues with that. So I'll see this thing of, it's raining, so we won't be able to get in the field. We're taking a piece of kit in that's suitable for the work that we're proposing here, and I love that people are looking ahead at the weather, but look at understanding the ground as well, and what we're saying. And yeah, we talk about Blue Mountain and production. I think there is an argument that companies that get to production and can be self-sustainable will be the first to reap the rewards when small cap equities respond. And, for us, that's exactly what we're doing at Blue Mountain. We're really pleased with what's going on. Nick's obviously been out there with the technical guys. They've been in the field, and we've reported as much as we can and trying to give people a look under the bonnet of what's going on. I then see again, the misunderstanding of, well, they're gonna fly a drone, or they're gonna do some ground penetration. That must mean that we're going backwards and not forwards. No, it means that we're accelerating forward to be able to. We need to identify some high grade ground. We've got some areas that we believe are of interest, but we need, the difference, to be clear here, between the old timers and the modern day producer is efficiency. And what we know from Gecko's report and the 90%, 91% improvement on the gravity and enhanced recovery methods that we applied, is that we're going to be far more efficient than the old timers and people that have operated the ground prior to us. And therefore, if we can boost these grades from 0.5 gram to 1 gram to 2 or more, then the commerciality and economical return to us as a company goes up significantly. So we're accelerating into production, and then the misconception by the market is we're not. And to kind of finish on your final point of tax losses, this is a static target now. We've got heads of terms, we've got a figure. We know what we think we can get for them. The market seems to be focusing all its energy on, you must get that money. That's the key event that's taking place here. Forget everything else, get that deal over the line. What do we do with the money when we've got it? I mean, if investors are trusting that we're going to be frugal and diligent on the work that we conduct, and we're going to make sure that you get a bang for your buck, because we're big shareholders too now, don't forget. If you trust us to do that, trust us to just do the job. And at the same time, give us the time that's required to get these assets into production, or for us to start building out resources and doing it in a way that the market is actually, it's fueling small cap companies at its own pace. We're doing our best, and when we raise money, we come under a lot of scrutiny for it. So then we try and limit what we raise, and we look at our opportunities from internal resources. So we had rigs that couldn't be used in the field, and we sold them. We had ground and land, and we made agreements for sale, and it's a box exercising down in Victoria at Brewing Lane, and we're recovering cash there. We had excavators that were just not suitable for the work that we're conducting now as a business today versus the company of yesterday, and we've got rid of them, and now we've got the tax losses. These are assets that have been within the business for many years with previous management teams, almost a decade in some cases. And Nick and I, as well as Andrew and the rest of the team at ECR, took a view that we had some resources and inventory within the business that we could unlock to prevent us having to go out to market and do these horrible fundraisers. And we're getting beaten up for it, Mark, and that's hard to take at times. Got broad shoulders, so we'll press on. We'll carry on regardless, and we've got a great strategy. We've got an exciting year ahead. I think investors who look at the price of the stock today versus the price of the stock in 6 months' time will understand what I'm referring to. But the market doesn't allow us to say much more than that. But all I would say is, we're hanging our hat on this. We didn't take shares in this company, and it's the last time I'm going to say it. We didn't take shares in this company because we didn't think or know that we're going to make a return on them. Now, look, the gold price and the environment's right. The interest levels are soaring. Everything's going well for us. We've built a good team. We've got strong foundations. Now let's wait and see what we can do with the next steps of the business.
Okay, good. Well, thank you, Mike. And I think what the market needs to see, particularly in these times when it is feeling a little bit low. Let's say the sector certainly at a pretty all-time low. Demonstration of sort of constant progress and constant potential. So if we just get a quick snapshot of what we can expect on that from ECR. So you've got Blue Mountain looking to get into early stage production there. Lolworth, you've got your samples here that you're looking to then plan effectively a drilling program. The tax losses, you can't say the number publicly that you're looking at, but that's fixed and it's happening. So those three, have I got those right? And any others that the market can expect?
We have had a huge amount of interest in the accumulated tax losses. We've had a lot of interest in the asset that has the super exceptionally high grade antimony. We've had unsolicited calls and contact to the business, and we've had more people entering the data room. We also have a group that we're in negotiations with and talks with, which are advancing quite considerably. Our preference is to move forward with them, but they're not the only game in town. And it would be remiss of us in this environment to sit on our hands and wait and watch and see what happens without considering at least where there may be alternative opportunities to boost significantly the value of the business. And that's including, continually screening opportunities for acquisition, partnerships, joint venture and collaboration. The antimony price is soaring 300% up, I think was one of the reports I saw recently. Of course, we're getting a lot of inbound. We also are seeing the gold price and interest growing, quite considerably. Let's not forget, we had big partners in the data room in some of those assets in Victoria. We, as a business, are focused on bringing Blue Mountain into production, expanding that revenue story and generation stage of the company, whilst continuing on with a maiden drilling campaign in Lolworth in Queensland. We've got joint ventures and partnerships, collaborations with Geological Survey, James Cook University. We've got rare earth projects, which are now being having financial contribution from government bodies. And people still sit there and say, these guys just talking their own book. Yeah, well, sometimes you can only take a horse to water, Mark, but it shan't kill my enthusiasm for the job in hand. And you know what we've built here. Really proud of it. Not particularly happy with the share price, but that's horses for courses, I'm afraid. And like you say, we would like to do more. We'd like to move quicker as our resources and balance sheet starts to grow. We'll be in a position to do that.
Good. Well, thank you very much, Mike. Looking forward to following how that's going. You say, the company should be in a different position in 6 months' time. So, we'll talk regularly about the milestones along the way to achieve that situation. But for now, thank you very much for your time.
No problem. Cheers, Mark. Have a great day.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.